So nothing changes if nothing changes, right? You have seen the first change. So the first speaker has given a space to me, and I am the next speaker. But I'll add one more thing to it. Change is the only constant. So even if you do not want to change, change will happen. Now the question is that whether you are part of somebody's plan or you are planning the change yourself. Okay. Either you respond to the change or you are aware of the change which is coming, and then you are trying to adapt yourself to the new change. So that is how change is the only constant. We need to understand it always. So a very good morning to all of you. Till very recently, I was entrusted with the responsibility of managing almost 22,000 branches in India, more than 60,000 ATMs, more than 70,000 CSP points in the entire country, and managing trillions of money, right? Both in terms of deposits and loans. And one of the tasks was also to strengthen the wealth management vertical of the bank and the financial inclusion of the people in the country who have not been a part of the financial growth. So while I was doing all this, creating customer experiences, engineering journeys for people of more than 47 crore customers, 48 crore customers which we have in the State Bank of India, one dream always haunted me. I was constantly possessed by the dream. And so today, when I most humbly stand before you, I want to discuss an often overlooked but a transformative pathway of finance. And that is, how do you create wealth at the bottom of the pyramid? Because as wealth professionals, we are attracted to people who already have huge amount of surpluses and who want to multiply their wealth. But I was concerned because 14 crore, almost 14 crore customers, out of these 48 crore customers, they have just started, maybe 3 years ago, 5 years ago, they have started the journey in the financial world through the government's initiative of JAM, Jan Dhan account, Aadhaar and mobile. So these 14 crore customers, we have an experience as to how they have been able to adapt themselves to the financial world, how they have been able to transact, how they have been able to deposit money, how they have been able to buy insurance, how they have been able to also increase their earning capacity. So this journey of creating wealth at the bottom of the pyramid is not a journey about transactions, about money. It's a journey about transforming lives, communities, so that people have meaning in life, people have hope in life, and people are strong enough to withstand the vagaries of life. By embedding the risk management in the design thinking of the entire bottom of the pyramid for protecting the vulnerable. So, what we call as bottom of the pyramid basically is also known as tier 4 market. So this market, tier 4 market, is not a demographic layer, not a mass of people. It has huge untapped reserves, untapped potential. Now, if you consider them as LIG, low income group people or lowest income group people, as wealth professionals, we may not be attracted towards them. But one of the things which all of us need to understand, that all of us here have a DNA, similar DNA, right? And that is how the body is formed, that is how everything evolves. And this DNA has 4 bases. So these 4 bases make the DNA for you, for me, for everybody, known as adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Now, for the entire growth in the world, wherever you are, in whatever profession you are, the growth also has a DNA. And that DNA is LIG, not low income group. The DNA is learning, innovation, and growth mindset. These people, the people at the bottom of the pyramid, they have this LIG, learning, innovation, growth mindset in huge quantity in themselves. And these hardworking people have the capacity to dream, have the desire to make a better life. Now, when this bottom of the pyramid as a word, as a phrase was coined in 1998 by one Mr. C.K. Prahlad and Mr. Stuart Hart, and at that point of time, it was 1998, this phrase became so much popular that everybody quotes it now. And what they said is that conventionally, whatever the wisdom says is not right. Conventionally, people used to say that bottom of the pyramid is not a viable business proposition. They can't consume the products or services of the rich, of the people who, or the products and services which are manufactured in the West. So they debunked the entire myth. And that is how almost all the companies started looking at the bottom of the pyramid as a very viable proposition. And in India, all of us have seen the Amul experiment. So people with small farm holdings or no farm holdings, but with a few milch cattle, they were able to change the country's standing in the world from a milk deficit country to the highest milk producing country in the world. This was because of the Amul experiment. And these were the people at the bottom of the pyramid who made this possible. Their life changed, their lifestyles changed, the children moved to higher echelons of life. We have SHGs all around your villages, maybe places where these people live. You have SHGs all around, which self-help groups, which give them immense amount of pride in themselves, because they don't have to go to people to borrow money or to do certain things, because a group of people from the bottom of the pyramid, they start together and create lifestyle for themselves, create security in their minds, get some liquidity, get some wealth. We have all seen this. So for this, what is needed is access to credit. Because unless and until you have access to credit, 2 things don't happen. What, and which is sine qua non for inclusive development. Because remember, till you have poor in the country, it is an immoral imperative and a business sense to work for them. And for this, creating buying power and creating sustainable employment opportunities are very, very important. And for this, access to credit is a primary criterion, which economists say that you have to create a market, you need to do that. And banks like SBI and others, they are committed to doing this. So after you have formalized the economy, brought people in the economic mainstream, even if they may have lesser money, the next question arises, how big this market could be. So just understand that in India, we have a savings rate of 30.21%, which is much higher than US and UK, is around 18-12%. So as a country, our forefathers, thousands of years or more than that, they have been drilling in us the sense of saving. And that is why even Chanakya said, Artha Moolam Karyam. Even our own, the 4, pillars of Sanatan life, Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha. Earth is very important. And every day almost all of us say, we pay our, give our prayers to Lakshmi and say, Mam Grihe, Dhanam Puriye. So from that perspective, we are quite endowed as a culture to have wealth. Savings is important. But now this savings is has a situation that our country, the people save mostly in physical assets. So almost 50% of the savings is in physical assets, maybe land, maybe gold, maybe something else. Now, for the last 5 years, this financial asset allocation has increased from 52% to 60%. So people are now moving towards financial asset creation. With 45% almost internet penetration, with crores of Jan Dhan accounts, with the 5 trillion economy, infrastructure getting created, the mood of the nation getting upbeat, the chances of people creating money are very, very high. So we all need to understand that the limitation is us. The outside world is not giving us limitation. The outside world is giving us a huge opportunity in terms of the sense that there is wealth will be created, the ecosystem is supporting us. So even within that, the diversification of money is not as optimized as it could be. So you still have around 4 crore mutual fund customers, around 11 crore demat accounts, and out of that maybe 3 crores are active accounts. So for all of you, the opportunity is very, very large. But in this context, if you see that I came across a research where I found that people who earn 1 lakh per month, it was a research survey, and save more than 10% of whatever they earn, only 12% of the people had financial advisors. So 88% didn't have financial advisors. I also don't have a financial advisor, right? So the point is, starting from the spectrum, from the top to the bottom, there is huge amount of employment opportunities, so to say, or self-employment opportunities, so to say, for managing the wealth in this country, and which is why this entire group of people is very, very important, because there are huge opportunities. People are all earning, the economic creation, value creation is happening more. Now, for a country like India, the wealth manager's role or wealth professional's role is so crucial that for 3 things you are all required. The first thing is enhancing awareness, financial literacy. They say that around 27%, some of the survey I found out, that only 27% of the people are financially literate. But literacy should not be understood as something which is a tangible mass, because one can be literate in class 1 and one can also be literate in class 10. And one can also be literate in class 14 or 16, whatever you want to say. So literacy is a journey, and this journey, financial literacy, is very, very important for furthering the profession of wealth professionals and also furthering the country's potential to grow, because more and more money, if it comes to the financial mainstream, people get more and more equity, more and more risk money is available for, laying down a factory or doing a business. That is important. The second thing for which you are crucial is the diversification and migrating people, facilitating people's transition from physical assets to financial assets. So for that, it's important that there is somebody through the financial awareness so that people can take informed decisions. You all are required. And the third is for protecting inflationary erosion. So optimizing the portfolio of people, all these 3 things are very important, and for which the wealth professionals are very much required, irrespective of people's standing in the social ladder. Now the priorities are set. What are those priorities? The priorities are expanding to tier 3 and tier 4 markets, because wealth professionals will be mostly in the tier 1, the metro markets, maybe urban markets, but there is a huge amount of money lying in the tier 3, tier 4 markets. You can see the FMCG sales. You can listen to investors' presentation, call or see the investors' presentation of FMCG companies, and will find how much dependent the companies, the big and the small, they are on the tier 3, tier 4 rural markets for the sales. So if sales are happening, it means there is money. But the wealth management professionals will have to go to that market, expand to the tier 3, tier 4 market. How do you expand it? That is something which you need to understand, as Mr. Vyas said, that the technology part, how do you make yourself, because everybody is a mobile, 45% internet penetration with more than 1 crore mobile connections. People have the ability to understand what is happening in the market, and you need not be regularly present. So through digital adoption, you can expand into tier 3 and tier 4 markets. The second part would be enhancing awareness, financial literacy. This is very important. Now, most of the literature which is found out, it is in English. You can see a Hindi newspaper or a vernacular newspaper and English newspaper. What will you find? I have found this. In vernacular newspaper, the news about financial happenings, though there, are inadequate. If you see an English newspaper, almost a full page. Even if you ignore Economic Times or Financial Express or whatever. But this vernacular content creation is very, very important. You need to understand that in India, the vernacular languages, people who speak vernacular languages, they form a large majority. They have wealth. They need advice. So creating vernacular content is very, very important for the bottom of the pyramid. This pyramid needs vernacular. Then the third part for which maybe the ecosystem has to work is creating new products. Well, we all have heard about subsidization of mutual fund. Recently we heard about 250 rupees mutual fund. So the mood of the market is that as many people as can be included. See, mutual fund or distribution or mutual fund AUM is the barometer of a nation's equitable distribution of wealth, opportunities. And we have around 15% of the GDP of the country, which is in AUM of mutual funds. In other countries, 100%. So this particular space with a 17% CAGR during the last 4-5 years offers a huge space to all the wealth professionals. Now, with these opportunities open, there is a need to create more products which are suitable for them. So, one of the products which is immediately required, maybe on a larger scale, is gulakization of wealth. All of you have gulaks in your mind. I had children. Now children don't have gulaks, but in those days you had gulaks, right? So gulakization of wealth. What did you use? What did we do at that point of time? We bought something of 10 rupees, 80 paisa, and 20 paisa used to go to the gulak, right? And slowly you will find that when you were weeping as a child for going to some place and buying something, the grandmother would say, gulak forlo, right? So this gulakization of wealth has to happen. Whatever you buy on e-commerce or whatever, plus whatever, say 340 rupees, 60 rupees goes to the investment now. So for this, there are products in other markets, in developed markets, which use this roundup money for investment into different kinds of products. The second thing would be the asset manufacturing and robo-advisory. So for this, automation of your investments. That is something which makes life easier for everybody. With a set of instructions being given, it will be much easier for investing. And the third thing which the industry has to do is make investment as simplified as possible. Simple will succeed. Complex will not. Because people have a tendency to simplify, right? Anubhav will be known as Anu. Ramchandar will be known as Ramu, right? We all understand this. So simplification is very important. So whenever you talk to client, simplify. Don't use jargons. Because jargons may not be something which would be intelligible. So in State Bank of India, we are committed to make the lives of people happy through finance, through wealth creation, and we need a breed of wealth managers who can think differently. Not get gravitated towards a small mass of people who are wealthy, who have huge money, because they also have the wherewithal to manage their own finances. They can use you as a sounding board, maybe use some of your services, but whole and soul they have own the systems. It is these people who require a full, sound, comprehensive financial planning, starting from wealth creation to, say, retirement planning or estate planning or things like that, because they all will grow. The mass has to grow. And why I am saying so? Because as you see, the pyramid structure which we have in the society, the market and the policy planners, they are looking towards a nest-like structure, weaver's nest-like structure, not the pyramid structure, where a large mass of people are financially secure, are financially moving up. So the country's economy is looking up. We are a bright spot. The policy is in the favor. The people are upbeat, so we all have opportunities. Now, with this, some of the three things which are required would be, you need to collaborate a lot. What you say is networking. We need to collaborate a lot. Even if you're successful, you need to understand that everybody is successful in his own way. So collaboration is very important. Understanding is very important. Then you will have challenges, regulatory challenges, as market challenges, personal challenges, but each challenge is an opportunity to create something new. So this, all the wealth managers will have to do. And the third part is call for action. Now, in call for action, while this triad is important for each and everybody, whatever spectrum whatever spectrum place he is, but this triad of LSR is important for everybody. Whether he is at the bottom of the pyramid or the top of the pyramid, he or she requires safety of funds, liquidity at time of need, and return. So when you deal with a customer, with your client, keep in mind that safety in Indian context is very, very paramount. Nobody wants to lose. So despite the fact that mutual funds, we say in the documents that it is subject to market risks, but we know that when somebody loses money in mutual fund, they come to us. आपने कहा था, आपने डुबा दिया, right? It depends. So in Indian context, safety of money is a very prime thing. Whatever money you have, always think from that perspective. The second part would be liquidity. People require liquidity at any point of time. So how do you structure this knowledge about structuring the portfolio, particularly from the liquefaction point of view, is very, very important. And the returns, everybody wants returns, right? More than the passive returns which you can enjoy. So all this three triad, all of you need to probably start your conversation with this lens in mind. And I think it's time to reboot the thought, because you have a stream of, say, income from a set of people who have money, who have wealth, and they want to multiply wealth. But as you know, you need to expand market. So this great bottom of the pyramid is expansion market. You need to have two streams, one regular stream, another stream which gives a sense of meaning in life, that you are making changes in the community, you are helping the community grow. So with these words, I would be failing in my duty if I don't, share my dream with you. So I would share my dream with you, maybe it stays with you, it helps. So with due credit to Martin Luther King, I would just recite my dream, just 2 minutes. I say to you today, my friends, that even if it is contrarian, I still have a dream. I have a dream that all of us will live out the true meaning of humanity, that all people are born equal. And all of us can create wealth and become rich. I have a dream that every client will be served with dignity, respect, and enthusiasm, and every client will benefit from the expertise, guidance, and trust of wealth professionals. I have a dream that every wealth manager will partner with clients for creating wealth and will use knowledge, leverage technology, data and collaboration to deliver superior value to their clients, HNIs or LNIs. I have a dream that every wealth manager will contribute to social good, sustainability of society, and Viksit Bharat. This is my dream today. This is my dream tomorrow. This is my dream every day. Thank you for patient listening.